What's going on, North Texas barbecue addicts? In today's video, I'm going to show y'all how I made myself like meatloaf. Now, growing up, meatloaf was just one of those things that got made frequently, but I never liked to eat it because it's just covered in ketchup. And, you know, maybe I was just a picky kid, but in today's video, I'm going to show you how to take some USDA prime ground beef from Six Brothers Beef Company, mix it with some other ingredients, get it onto the Weber, and make a really flavorful, enjoyable meatloaf. So y'all stick around. Alright guys, so like I said in the intro, we're going to make some meatloaf. We've got our ingredients here, some 1836 from Suckle Busters. I love me some Cavenders, so I'm going to top that off a little bit in there as well. And then we found some garlic and herb breadcrumbs that's going to help out. And we've got some prime ground beef from Six Brothers. And then I figured mixing in some Italian sausage would be nice as well. So I'm gonna get all these out of the package and into this bowl, and then we'll mix it up. All right, y'all, so we're back. I went ahead and diced up an onion and then the green onion portion of it as well. This is from my neighbor. Fresh onions there going in. There we go. And then I need to add an egg in here, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. This is gonna help with getting everything nice and incorporated. Put some Cavenders Greek seasoning in, and then hit it with some 1836 from Suckle Busters for that nice beef flavor. We've got about 2 pounds of beef, and I'd say about a ½ pound of the pork sausage in there as well. I'm gonna go ahead and get this all mixed up. See in there, looking good. Get this all mixed up. I'm gonna set it in the fridge for a little bit to let it all mix well together. And then next time I see y'all, we'll put it in a forming pan and get it ready for the smoker. Alright guys, so we got the Weber going, and this has been sitting in the fridge for about 30-ish minutes while that Weber was regulating to our temperature. Went ahead and topped it off with a little bit more of that Cavenders Greek seasoning and the 1836 from Suckle Busters. We're going to be using some B&B hickory chunks to get some smoke flavor on this. Let's go ahead and add a couple of chunks in there. Go. Now, growing up, I did not really care for meatloaf because it was just slathered in ketchup, and you know, I mean, no offense, but it wasn't my cup of tea. It just didn't impress me as a kid. But cooking it on the smoker and using the different types of sauces that barbecue has that you can choose from and the seasonings, this is going to be a really good meatloaf. This is something that I enjoy, so y'all stick around. I'm going to close this bad boy down. It's going to start soaking up that smoke flavor, and we're going to check on this in 30 minutes. Alright guys, it's been about 30 minutes. Let's take a peek. That's starting to look really good. The edges are starting to get red. That means it's taking on that nice smoke flavor. I'm going to keep rotating it every time we check on it. We're aiming to pull this at about 155 degrees internal, so it'll carry over to about 160. I'm going to shut this lid down, and we're going to keep on cooking. I'll check back with y'all in 30 more minutes. Alright y'all, so we are rolling at about 250, and that's right where we want to be, anywhere from 250 to 300. It's been 30 more minutes. It's smelling awesome. Now, I have added some hickory to it since then, so it's rolling good now. We want to check the temperature. Look at that, it's getting juicy. That's what we want to see. Want to check the temperature. We are right under 110 degrees, which is awesome. This is smelling great. This is really going to be flavorful. What I want to do, I'm going to let this go for about 15 or 20 minutes more, and then we're going to check on it, and I'm going to put some sauce on it. So next time I see y'all, we'll level up that flavor with that sauce, and we'll keep cooking. Alright, so like we said, we're going to check this in 20 minutes. We cranked the heat up by adding wood chips and chunks to about 300 degrees so we could get a nice little crust happening here. Let's check the internal temperature. Remember, we're shooting for about 150, 155. It is completely tender. We're shooting at 122 right there, so what I want to do now is add another element of flavor. We've got some sesame teriyaki marinade. I'm going to pour some of that over the top. You can use whatever sauce you like. This is where I told you I don't like ketchup, so meatloaf never really impressed me growing up, so this is just a little element of flavor here that changes meatloaf. You just make it your own. So we're gonna put that sauce all over the top of it. This is completely juicy from that USDA prime ground beef and that pork that we got from those brats. I'm gonna shut this down and let it roll for about 20 more minutes, and we'll check on it at that point. So it's been 15 minutes more, and we're running at about 275 degrees. It's got awesome color on it. We're gonna top it with a little bit of 1836, the seasoning we started out with. We started out with that Cavenders and this one, but we're gonna stick to this one to finish it off. But before we do, let's go ahead and get a temperature reading and see where we're at. We're right about 135, anywhere from 125 to 135, give or take. So we're getting really close to being done. Let's go ahead and add a little bit more of that seasoning just to enhance that last bit of beef flavor and Texas flavor. I'll have the information down below in the description box, both for Suckle Busters and Six Brothers Beef Company. Look at that color. All right, guys, next time I see y'all, we're gonna pull this guy off. Okay, so we reached about anywhere from 150 to 162 degrees internal on this meatloaf. I got some roughly diced green onion over here. We let this rest, I'd say about 10 minutes covered with foil in the pan. It's completely juicy. Man, that is not dry at all. Got those onions in it. Remember, we mixed some pork brats in there with that USDA prime ground beef from Six Brothers. Check that out. Look at that, guys. Not dry at all. Again, one of the biggest things growing up not liking meatloaf is it was just dry mostly, and it didn't work for me, and then the whole ketchup thing. But let's go ahead and garnish it with some of these green onions. I'm gonna go ahead and get the camera turned around, and we're gonna give this a try. All right, y'all, so in about an hour and 30-ish minutes, hour and 40-ish minutes, we turned out some really awesome smoked meatloaf. How do I know it's awesome? Because I've already been tasting it. Had to check it before I did the taste test, so I didn't lie to y'all and tell you it was good right before it was. Check that out. Completely juicy, tons of flavor in here. Cheers, y'all. That is so tender. That pork flavor, the beef flavor, you taste the onions. And I'm telling you, that glaze that we used, that brings this to the next level. So I highly suggest y'all check this out. Give it a try, put your own spin on it. Until next time, guys, you know what I say. Peace! Y'all keep on barbecuing.